My name is Mr. Kaliki Ndomo. I'm working in Paris Hypersomiasis Research Center. I joined CAT in 1984. By then, it was called KETRI, Kenya Hypersomiasis Research Institute, dealing with human and animal hypersomiasis. And when I joined this institution, I was posted to the zoology division, and whose main role was to do drug sensitivity studies using laboratory mice, and also to manage the experimental animals, as well as to manage Trypanosome bank. And this is what I've been doing for all these years. And the experimental studies that I'm mainly involved in involve infecting laboratory animals. And we can do that either mechanically using a silicon needle, and or using sassafras, infected sassafras, which feed on clean and infected animals, and by so doing transmit the infection. So infection of laboratory animals can be either of the two. So it is while we were doing the transmission studies, that is trying to infect laboratory animals using sassafras. I came across several challenges involved in holding the rodent and the vector, because for that to be done, I think I can just demonstrate. These are the laboratory animals which we commonly use in the laboratory. These are laboratory mouse, and what happened is that, or how we used to do it in those days, you just hold it with your hand like this, and then once you hold it with your hand like this, you then bring the sassafras are here. You can see some sassafras here. I don't know. There's some sassafras there. You can see those black. Can you see them? Now, they're in this cage. So you break them and place it on top of the rodent like this. And because they are hungry, in search of food, they will feed on this mouse, and in the process transmit infection. If not that, how we used to do it, if you really want to do transmission studies, you first infect your mouse mechanically using a silicon needle. And once the infection is established, you now infect your flies. So you bring clean flies and you feed them on an infected rodent. Once you feed them on an infected rodent, the fly is definitely going to pick the infection. Once it picks the infection, that infection is going to go through a cycle in the sassafras. It's going to do a cycle in the sassafras, which basically takes about 21 days. After 21 days of the parasite in the sassafras, the parasite is already mature and can cause infection when the sassafras next bites another animal in search of food. So the challenges that I came across is that in fear of being bitten by the rodent, some people would really hold the rodent so tightly like this, so that there is no chance, they cannot move around. And once can you see the breathing? I think you can see the breathing. You can see the lungs, you can see around this region. Now what happens is that once you hold it so tightly, it can very easily suffocate. You don't give it room to breathe. You see? And because you are fearing that it might bite you, you hold it so tightly. And sometimes you may even end up killing the rodent, which is very bad. What if it dies before the experiment is over? You see? It's a disaster. So the other thing, if you don't hold it, can you see now? There it's moving around. Can you see? It can very easily bite you. You see? It's for fear of that. So the other thing that can easily happen when you're holding it like this, you see, and then this is your fly. You are keeping it here like this. You see? Can you see? If the cage, if the cage holding the fly happens to be in contact with your skin, you see, look at it carefully. This is the rod, this is the fly. I'm placing it on top of the rodent, and at one end of the cage, it's touching my hand. You see? So the restaurants which are here can also bite me, touch your food, and in so doing, transmit infection to me. Do you get this?
Another disaster.
Another disaster. Especially if the infection carried by this surprise is human infected. It can be a disaster. And one can end up self-infecting himself. So it is out of those challenges and also the number of people. Imagine you have about 100 mice like this, which want to infect. It would mean every one man is coming here with his mouth, another one there, another one there. How many people are we going to be here? There are going to be very many. And then the more people are, the more inconsistent the results are going to be. If you you cannot expect all of you to behave the same way. You see, so the results may not be quite consistent. So we came up with this technology. We are calling it Infecta Kit. And the purpose of this technology is to allow the rodent and the vector to be in contact without human manipulation. Simple as that. So what actually happens, you put your vector here, the supply is here, you put it here, and where is it done? We have an entomology division, where we rear supplies. You just go to them and tell them that I want about 10 supplies. And they are going to put them here. So you may want 100 supplies, 10 per case, meaning that you are going to have 10 of it. Is that okay? So what will happen, you just take your rodent like that, you see, and introduce it into this system through this point. To that point. You see? This is very beautiful mouse. This is not very nice. You know, in the food it can't fit here. Not very cool. Okay. So he introduces at that point. You see? You see? There it is. When it is there, you see, I'm still holding the tail here. I'm still holding the tail here. When it is at that point, you press it using this. You just press it using that. You see? You press it. And then have it in position by screwing it. Can you see that?
Now it's trapped in there.
It is trapped there, but it is not obsessed. You see? And now bring your whatever, bring your sassafras and put it there. Leave them in contact. The sassafras will just feed on the rodent. On the rodent. It is as simple as that. And once in a while, if you want to confirm whether the feeding has taken place really, you just get the kid holding the fries and just look at the fries. Fries that are well fed are engorged. You see they are engorged. You see the abdomen is quite full and leaden. The red component is brown. Is that okay? So now you are convinced that my fries have really fed. Is that okay? Once they have fed, you just release. You see?
It's a quick process.
Yeah, just a quick process. You just release your animal. And another thing, is that you can even turn this thing around. You can turn it around like that, you see?
Okay.
And once you turn it around like that, you can now bring your fries and let them feed on the abdomen.
Okay.
Do you get that? So you have a chance of either feeding the fries on the abdomen or at the back of the mouth. Is that okay? Once you are through with that, you just release. Yeah, just release. If you have to,
Leave the cage.
yeah, just release. Release it. It works with the ranta to that resting cage. Rock it there. You see? Now you are okay. Now what you do, you can now remove it from here very easily. You can now remove it from there and do whatever you want to do it. And return it to this thing. So what we are trying to say is this. What we are trying to say is this. You can have several of these.
Okay.
If I have about 10 of these, just think, just imagine of that. If I have 10 of these, how much more can I do?
A lot.
That one, I keep it there. Another one, I keep here. Another, by the time I'm there, how many will they be? Another thing is that I don't have to be there holding it. I can leave the sassafras and the rodent interacting when I'm doing things in there.
Yeah.
Do you get that? And also, prevented from self-infection, and also the rodent itself is prevented from premature death.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Thank you very much, Mr. Karoki Ndongo. Have a Merry Christmas and blessed 2013.